You're not a freak athlete. That's why you clicked on this video. So if you're trying to get more athletic, trying to run faster, trying to jump higher, trying to get stronger, more explosive, better athlete, better your sport, this is the right video for you. What makes me qualified to talk about this? Well, I have undergone my own development journey with this. I went from a 22-inch vertical, not even being able to touch the rim, to a 35-inch vertical, being able to throw down dunks and windmills, and sprinting a lot faster within just a week. Now, first I'd like to tell you sort of how a freak athlete is made, because a freak athlete, even the best ones you see, genetic freaks, like LeBron James or Usain Bolt, these people are ridiculous athletes, like beyond comprehension. But it's the fact that when they were kids, right, they were just slightly better than everyone else, right? So Usain Bolt, he probably ran slightly quicker just because of his genetic makeup. He probably ran slightly quicker than everyone else. And as a result, he was probably always like challenging people to sprint races, and like he was always like sprinting fast, and so he got that adaptation because he's sprinting fast. So the more he sprints fast, the more his body goes, oh shoot, I need to adapt and run faster. So basically, the more he sprints, the more he gets faster. And then you compare him to someone his age who, like, when they were kids, wasn't even that far off. Like, the gap is just huge. Same goes for someone like LeBron James. Like, he probably jumped a bit higher, like a little bit higher, maybe 2 or 3 inches higher than everyone else. But it was the fact that he jumped that bit higher than everyone else that every basketball game he was probably trying to touch the backboard, then touch the rim, then dunking every warm-up, dunking all the time, like showing other people, showing off. So, and the more he did these jumps, he was adapting, as opposed to someone who maybe didn't jump as high, so wasn't jumping as much, so don't get that adaptation, and then the difference is just huge between the two. So anyways, that was me rambling. I'm going to show you the 3 key exercises or activities that you could do to become a much better athlete. Whether that's how fast you are, how high you jump, how explosive you are, and these 3 will make you much better at your sport, guaranteed. So the first one is, now this is the best plyometric. This is the plyometric of plyometrics. This is the best. I'd even go as far as to say the best exercise you could possibly do to become more athletic. It is the king of athletic movement. This exercise is max effort sprints, right? You go out, you sprint as fast as you can for a set distance, and you time it. You try to get faster every single time, and you rest optimally between sets, and you push the adaptation by doing this. The reason it's the best is because sprinting is needed in every sport, for the majority of sports, at least all team sports. It's max effort, so it's maximum intent. You're pushing the adaptation in your body. It also has really low ground contact times, so you build the fast twitch muscles in your fast twitch fibers in your tendons, and your tendons become really stiff, which is also beneficial for things like jumping and your agility, your change of direction, your ability to land safely, all that stuff. And yeah, it's great exercise. So the framework for this is I do 4 by 40 yards or 40 meters at least once, maybe twice a week. If I could, I'd probably do twice a week, and then like another session of acceleration or something. But yeah, it's just incredible. So I'd just suggest go out at least once a week. It's not very hard. 4 by 40 yards. That's the best thing you could probably do. Time it. You can use your phone camera app, which is really good because so you want to get it far enough. But I film from the front actually, but you have your start distance, you have your end distance, you video it, then you go into edit and it shows the sort of the specific time. So it'll be like, for example, 5.473 seconds or something. And then you get your calculator out on the phone app, obviously, minus the end time from the start time, and that's your velocity, and then you try to beat that every single time. That's the best thing you can do. Before I go on to the next step, I'd like to tell you how adaptations for characteristics happen, because I think that would be really insightful into how you can learn to become more athletic and more just it works for anything. It's how your body becomes better at anything physically. So the way it works, your body's exposed to stimulus, so your body goes, oh shoot, what the hell's going on, right? Let's say you do a max effort jump for the first time. Your legs are like, what the hell, I can't cope with this, right? And then, because of that, your body gets like fatigued from it, right? If I went out and did bench press for the first time, for example, my chest would be fatigued because it's not used to that kind of force on the chest. And so that happens, right? And your performance goes down because you're fatigued. And then your body goes, oh damn it, we really do need to step it up, we need to adapt. And your body makes the adaptation, and your performance increases. So with jumping, you're gonna be jumping pretty low at first, but the more you do that, then your body is exposed to stimulus and can adapt to the stimulus. That's the whole thing of training. It's all about adapting to a stimulus, and that is why variety is so important, because you can't just do the same exercise with the same sets, with the same weight all the time. Otherwise you get no adaptation, because your body, oh, it's just the same, nothing's changing, so you're not going to get better, right? I'm doing this off the spot, by the way, so right, my second, third best exercise. Well, I've got to pick a weight room exercise, don't I? I know what I'm picking for one of them. I think the best exercise you do would be a squat, because there's so many variations of it, and you can do it in so many different ways that you can drive adaptations in different ways. Like you've got a normal deep back squat, you've got a half squat, you've got a quarter squat, you've got a pin squat, you've got a box squat, you've got a like a true squat where you start from the pins, you go up, you go down. There's so many. You got jump squat. There's so many adaptations. There's so many different exercises that come out of it. But I think it's the best exercise to get your legs stronger. It works your quads, it works your glutes as well, and those are the two muscles that I think help your jumping the most. Actually, the way I found this out, right, is if you jump flat out, like you jump as hard as you can for as long as you can, like until your legs are dead, right? You wake up the next day, you check what muscles are sore. This works for everything, by the way, but I found my glutes and my quads were so sore the day after doing that. I mean, yeah, that just shows that that's what's important for jumping, right? So yeah, I definitely think the squat is very important. You can periodize it very well. You can even do like triphasing with it. You can do a month on eccentrics, a month on isometrics, and a month on concentrics. So it's just the possibilities are endless with it. I'd suggest you periodize it. So a good way you could go about it would be starting with hypertrophy, because now this is controversial, right? Because people don't like doing hypertrophy because they're like, oh, it's slow, whatever. But hypertrophy is actually really useful because it increases the cross-sectional area of the muscle, and a bigger muscle has more potential to produce more force. So if you're doing like max strength and you have tiny legs, like it's going to be work. It's not going to be useful because your legs are so small that they can't produce much force. So what's the point? You need to build the muscle first. So you go hypertrophy, right? A good way to do this is to manipulate intensities and volumes is to increase a set each week and to decrease a rep each week. So let's say you started with 3x12, next week you go 4x11, and you would also increase the intensity by 5% each week. And then on your fourth week, which is your deload, you'd half the sets by you'd half the sets, and you would take a rep off. So that way, really high intensity, low volume, you recover and you peak basically. So after hypertrophy, I would honestly maybe go, depends if it's a beginner or not. If you're a beginner, I'd say with normal back squats, because you need to learn to squat, you need to I think it's really beneficial to have deep back squats for all beginners. But if you weren't, I'd maybe focus on half squats to build the explosiveness. So you do like a strength, then max strength, and then power is what would be the general periodization of it. I think that would be really good. Damn it, I just realised I forgot to add in power cleans for max size. Well, this is only 3, so I'm going off the 3 exercises that would get the most adaptations to jump higher, etc. So the third exercise, I'd have to say max effort jumps, just because the adaptations are crazy. Like, even if you never did anything but did jumps, you would still jump higher. Like, it's just great. Like, I'd say sprints and jumps are the 2 most athletic things. Like, they are the best indicator of athletic performance. So I would say it depends on what your sport is, because if you're like a basketball player, it's easy. Like, just go out, try dunk or whatever, try jump as high as you can. That's fairly easy. But I can see how if it's not really that involved in your sport, like, you would think there's no point, but there really is. Like, being able to jump high, like dramatically helps your acceleration and like power. It's the best. It's probably the best thing you can do for your power, honestly. But yeah, I'd say even if you're like a football player, like go out and try jump as high as you can. If you want like a basketball court, try touch the rim. Doesn't matter if it's like a standing jump or running as fast as you can and jumping as high as you can. Like, just put in that work. Like you've got to try and do it because it's so beneficial. And the reason it is because if you want to get better at something, you have to do more of that thing. If I want to jump high, I need to jump more. And so many people don't understand this. They just want to do the silly plyometrics on Instagram. They want to do the silly workouts. They want to do the like skate hops or whatever. Just go out and do that thing. Do the thing you're trying to get better at. That's the best advice I could give you. Yeah. Now, I'd like to give you sort of a final piece of advice that you can take with you for the rest of your training career, certainly. If I could give you one tiny bit of advice, sprint every week, at least once a week, at least once a week, jump at least once a week, lift every week, repeat for weeks on end, reap benefits. Yeah, it's just about that consistency. You're not going to get any benefits from 2 weeks of sprint, or you might, but a week of sprint training. The real progress comes when you stack up years and years and years on end. Okay? So there you go. Some tips for you. Lift. Don't be afraid to squat heavy, alright? Don't be afraid to sprint every week. Don't be afraid to go out and jump as high as you can. Sprint, jump, squat and lift heavy and get stronger, and honestly, you're mostly there. So guys, hope you enjoyed. I'm going to leave this to you. You can hit the follow button, subscribe. You can hit subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. I have more videos that cover topics like this, so I hope you're interested, and also comment down below if you have any questions. I'm more than happy to answer your questions, and go get athletic, bro.